I think we're going.
Oh, yeah, we're on.
Alright, how's it going? Alright, this is our first episode of the round table. Table square. But I want, and we're just completely improvising this because whatever, I'm awkward. So here we are. This is my family. We come every year for our Whitfield family reunion. And last year, we found ourselves in discussion about the topics. What those topics are, well, I guess you're just going to have to find out. Right now, we're going to talk a little bit, but I'm going to explain what we're doing. We're going to sit and we're going to talk. These are all teens except for me, so I'm the host, Mr. John Wells III. And we're going to talk about the topics. But before I bring up which topic we're going to talk about today, we're going to have us all introduce ourselves. Starting from over here.
I'm Aaron. I'm the best looking one here.
How old are you, Aaron?
I'm 17. I'm a junior in high school too.
Okay.
All right.
I'm Breland. I'm 15.
And you are?
And I'm a freshman in high school.
Hi, I'm Mia. I'm 17 and I'm a senior in high school.
All right. And I am their older cousin. I am John, and I am 27, and I am no longer in high school. I graduated last year.
I thought you were going to lie about your age. I am also 18.
And, okay, so yesterday we had a piñata. And when me and some of my cousins went to look for a piñata, we saw piñatas of every single princess. Sorry, it was going dark and I wanted to see myself. We saw piñatas of every single princess, but there was no Princess Tiana piñata. So I was wondering, like, why is there no Princess Tiana piñata? So, we started to talk about this and talk about how wrong it would be to have a Princess Tiana piñata and why that would be. So right now we're going to discuss about why a Princess Tiana piñata would be wrong. Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's a black princess being hung from a tree to be opened up with a stick or a bat by little kids. It's just an awkward idea.
It's an awkward idea. What do you...
That was the first thing that came to my mind, that it was going to be a representation of a lynching, and she's black, and then in the movie it's been set in like 1920s Louisiana, so that would not...
Exactly.
You have any thoughts?
No, that's definitely what I was going to say.
Yeah, I thought it would be extremely wrong to have a Princess Princess TNT. Actually, I would like to see Princess TNT. A Princess Tiana piñata. I the whole idea of it was kind of
bad.
Yeah,
it's just not a good idea.
Just when there's never a good time to hang a black princess from a branch and swing bats at them. Someone's at the door, so we're gonna put this on pause.
Oh.
And we're back. All right, yes. So looks like we've gone through some transformations during the break. A few transformations. So we started this conversation by talking about why it would be wrong to have a Princess Tiana piñata.
Yeah.
Which you wonder. Okay, well, we have parties and people want to celebrate, and they want to, every once in a while you just want to beat a princess in the head. So why not? But we all came to the agreement that it would be wrong to have a Princess Tiana piñata. It's never a good time to hang a black person from a tree and beat them with a stick. So I did some research and I actually found a Princess Tiana piñata. It actually exists, a Princess Tiana piñata, and how does this make you feel, Mia?
I mean, looking at it, I don't see like an area where you could put the rope that's not around the neck area, and that is already bothersome. Just looking at this.
I mean,
I mean, I don't like it. Just a black princess hanging from a tree. I couldn't imagine that. But it's just so sad. A little black girl that wants a Princess Tiana pinata probably wouldn't be able to find one. They'd have to hunt it down because of the historical significance of hanging a black person from a tree. I just think it sucks for little girls that want a Princess Tiana pinata.
Well, I mean, first thing I'm going to say is that this was very well done. This is a great...
It's a nice dress.
It's a nice dress. It's a nice representation of Tiana. But, like Mia said, it looks like the only place you could hang it from is her neck or maybe the bun thing on top of her head. And it's just... Hanging it like that with the pinata, it would be too accurate of a representation of what happened in the South during those times. So, for someone to have this pinata, like if it was captured in a picture, it would look really bad even if the intentions weren't bad. So that's why this pinata shouldn't exist in the first place.
yeah. So why do you think it's still so fresh? I mean, racism. I mean, obviously we've established that racism exists, but we haven't had. The time like Jim Crow laws and things like that. We're 50, 60 years away from that. So.
50, 60 years really isn't technically that long ago. That's just our grandparents. And if you think about it, that's still pretty new. We just got out of that stage. I mean, we act like we're in a post-racial society, but technically we really aren't because we still have... Because I bet you some of the people that were a part of those lynchings 50, 60 years ago are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't say that, now we're in a new phase of, racism becoming less of a issue.
I mean, I think that's a really interesting perspective. What about you, Breland?
I just feel like the lynching is so fresh because of all the police brutality that's been going on. People are saying that's the new lynching, so we already have this violence against black people in our minds. That just brings us back to Jim Crow times when people were hung from trees and hanged or beaten or burned or tarred and feathered, which still happened even in the 50s and 60s. So I just feel like it's so fresh, especially with, Mike Brown, Eric Garner, Freddie Gray, all these people that are being killed, all these black men and black women being killed. The violence is right here in our faces. It's so fresh, so it's just bringing us back to where it originally came from. I think.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, there are lynchings in the 2000s to start off with. I mean, not old school like hang from the tree lynchings, but such as on like taking you and tying the noose around your neck and then tying the other into your car and driving down. There are multiple stories on it on like Wikipedia. You can look it up. Just type it into Google. I saw one in Texas where the guy got acquitted by the local police force, and it's just It's not like it's over, and everybody's saying claims racism is getting better because not everyone's racist, but the magnitude of the acts gets worse, so how can you say that racism is better?
The thing is
or
that
has improved?
People aren't getting, there's no justice. Even now, they're like, oh, we're in a post-racial society, like you just said, because everyone's not racist. But the system is still working in favor of white people. You're still able to kill a black man, kill a black woman as a white man or a white woman, and be indicted, be acquitted, not serve any time, not have any fines. What, Darren Wilson got paid almost $500,000, almost $1 million for killing Mike Brown? Like, that's insane. You get rewarded for killing people?
And then another thing, I hear a lot of people, like, their counter argument is, well, what about black on black crime? Yeah, we understand they're gangbangers and they kill rival gang members, but when they kill them, they get 20 to life. When Darren kills Mike, he gets a paid vacation. So, what do you have to say to that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Say to that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I found an article, and I'll go ahead and preface it. I'm scrolling through the internet, and I don't know, how much there's so much out there. But I found an article, and I'm just going to read it to you. It says on August 29th, the body of 17-year-old black teen Lennon Lacey was found hanging from a children's swing set in a predominantly white mobile home park in rural Bladenboro, North Carolina. Population 1750. Lennon Lacey was African American. The shoes on his feet did not belong to him and were 2 sizes too small. Abrasions and lumps marred his body and face. According to police, these injuries were caused by ants, but the undertaker who embalmed the body said they were reminiscent of damage sustained in bar fights. Despite these red flags, the coroner quickly ruled Lacey's death a suicide. How does that make you feel?
There's also the teenager where he was in a relationship with an older white woman in his mobile home too.
He was.
And that was, another thing. And I think they ruled too quickly that's a homicide because even the medical examiner, like what you read, said that it's reminiscent of something happens in a bar fight. And there was also another case of a man that was found lynched. He was older in Mississippi. And CNN, even though they ruled it a suicide, but CNN still brought up he was charged with, he was arrested 30 years ago, which I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Oh. Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. So these things, though, do you think they can be easily ruled as just another crime? Does it have to be a race-related crime? Is it race related at all, or is it, someone he was messing with someone he shouldn't be messing with, or
Well, I mean, but the thing is that these are black men in mostly southern areas, Alabama and Mississippi, and they have a history of this being a way to kill black males and black women. So I think that it is. I'm pretty sure it is racial, and then the fact that the 17-year-old was in a relationship, I think, with a 30-year-old white woman, that also I think is a factor that they didn't look into.
Yes.
I think another part of these crimes that makes it easy for someone to dismiss it as another crime is the black community itself. Black men not appreciating black women like they should in this generation and age. There was a picture, it was the same black women that you constantly disgrade and leave behind for these mixed girls and these white girls are the same ones fighting for you and protesting for you when black men are getting hung and killed. So it's you have to love one another. You can't divide your race by its skin tone. You should. This nation shouldn't even be divided by skin tone. At the end of the day, it shouldn't matter, but it still does, and it's still prevalent. Just people want to ignore it, which is why nothing's changing, because you're too busy trying to ignore the problem. Exactly. When that happens, the problem's never addressed, and it just continues to go on. You're just oblivious to it, making you part of the problem.
Yeah, that's true. Breland and Mia, as African American women, do you guys feel as if African American men take you for granted?
Yes.
Yeah.
So much.
I do. I see it. And then also, too, a lot of times if it is a black guy that is into me, a lot of times it's because I'm lighter and it's not because I'm, a nice person. And I think that's a bad thing. Or it's just, it's not a good reason to know, I will only date you because your skin is, lighter than my other black women counterparts. And the fact is that colorism does still exist in the black community, and it's something that we haven't gotten over. You see the team light girls, team dark girls, team brown girls. Exactly. Instead of us all coming together and knowing that as black women, we basically face issues of us being considered not as desirable as, a white woman, and that our features, are wrong, but when you see, in magazines that this, someone who isn't black has, big hips, butt, and all this, she's praised, but when we have it, it's, ghetto, or, it's not as desirable.
Yeah.
That's, okay, what annoys me, when black men say, oh, you black girls better watch out, these white girls starting to get a booty, they're starting to get these lips and these hips, as if our only worth is in our butts and in our lips, in our features, not in our personalities and in our culture and in our connection to one another. I think it's just insane, the underappreciation. And even when they're hitting on you, they're like, They're like, do you like this chocolate or do you like light skin or whatever? It's like, we're all black. Please don't. Like, it just annoys me when people use those terms. Oh, I'm light skin, I'm dark. I'm chocolate or whatever. And then when white guys be like, oh, I saw this cute black girl, you're so cute. I guess I got jungle fever. It's like, we're just underappreciated. Black women are so low on the totem pole. We have so much to offer. We're so intelligent. We're so beautiful. We are not like anyone else. We're so complex. We all look so different. I think we're just so underappreciated. We're all put into a box.
And black women are the #1 group for college graduates too, and that's never really advertised a lot. I saw it on Tumblr, but I never saw it on the news, like CNN or something. And there's more to us. There's I think we're a lot of times when you hear black women, everyone's like, oh, they think of this one aspect of just ratchet or ghetto, but when there is black women that are into anime, into game designing, that we have all these different interests, but then it's just a stereotype, and a lot of people think that they don't have the stereotype, but really it's seen though, because a lot of times if a guy isn't black a lot of the times and he's in a black woman, he starts equating us to food like chocolate or mocha, and I don't really want to be considered that. Or they call us exotic when exotic is for species and animals.
I'm not a snake.
Yeah, I'm not, a new species I was just found. I'm a human being just like you and just have more melanin in my skin.
Yeah. So we're gonna quickly wrap this up. I have 2 more questions, and we have to really get going because it's the end of the family reunion, and parents are trying to get our kids out. So we have people knocking on the door constantly, trying to get us to hurry up. So I want to turn to Aaron and ask Aaron, as a black man, how do you feel? How do you feel that racism has impacted you as a teenager? As a black man, and also how do you feel it within your own race?
How does it? Well, I'll start with how the racism has affected black men. You don't feel safe anymore. Like when you hear all these stories, police officers are supposed to be for protection, to protect you from danger. But what am I supposed to do when you become the danger to me? And I haven't heard both sides of the story. Maybe Trayvon was doing something wrong, maybe Mike was doing something wrong, but I highly doubt it. I don't think that was the case. But he's gone now. He can't tell his side of the story.
So you only hear one side of the story?
You only hear one side of the story. And then majority of the times when you get in these courtrooms, these officers have a month to plan with lawyers. They dehumanize the boys. Like with Mike Brown, he kept on saying this. It felt like this big demon. It's not a demon. This is a teenage kid who was graduating high school. Don't dehumanize him to get yourself a chance of being indicted. And as far as in the community, it's like that. It's almost like they don't want to be smart, because if you talk educated, you're considered acting white or you're whitewashed. And then, I think it's just an issue. Everybody, it needs to be helped.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot to be said about what's going on. I do think it's underrated. I do think that there's a lot of hostility, and I don't think it's the right way to deal with it. We don't need to deal with it with hostility, but we do need to talk about these issues and not sweep them under the carpet, sweep them under the rug. We have to talk about these issues and talk about these things, and you understand that there are 2 sides of a story, and we have to be able to figure out where the line is and where the middle is. As I said, we're running out of time, so I have to wrap this up. But why don't each of you just give your final closing statements, just about maybe a word of encouragement to other people out here. There's other African American kids and even kids of all ethnicities out there that can be encouraged by you. So what would you have to say, starting from Mia and working down to Aaron?
I would say do your own research. Don't just always go based on what mainstream media says. There's a lot more to each side of the story, and history, and also too, schools don't really teach you everything that you need to know. So I always say, just go online and look up more than one side of a story. See the broader picture.
Mm-hmm.
I think just as a person of color, whether you're Asian or Indian or black or Latino or whatever, you just need to do you. You need to be successful. You don't worry about stereotypes. Don't worry about what people will call you. You just need to be successful so you can uplift your community and so that we can get the justice that we all deserve.
just strive to do what you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you anything. So like if you want to work with NASA, like NASA shut down now. Let's say you wanted to work with NASA. If you want to work with NASA, don't worry about what anyone says to you. You keep that dream tight and you work towards it at all times. And when someone tries to laugh at it, laugh at them because they're too small-minded to see your big dreams.
Great. We've had a great conversation here at the round table. I hope that everybody's enjoyed it. I hope that everybody has been very encouraged. Thank you for spending this time and watching with us. And remember, don't let people keep you in the box. Join the round table conversation.